Hello, friends. Welcome, or rather, welcome back. This is Dr. Rohit from Rohit Productions and Indian Students Academy. Well, I'll be uploading a video on leadership. It is the need of the hour. A few of my colleagues always requested me to load a video on leadership. Well, as we all know, a lot of posts are being posted on professional websites. People do not quit their jobs, they quit their bosses. They do not quit their job profile or their job. They change companies and quit their bosses. So what is the difference between a leader and a boss? Very short story. Well, around a boss with around 20 workers started working. The boss knew that he had reached the potential where his career is at the peak. With either one promotion or two promotion, he might be retiring. So he was almost at the peak where he should have reached. So the boss is working, he's being supervised by a supervisor. When the supervisor comes, he gives the reports about the 20 workers who are working under him. Out of that, 5 are the favorite workers. These 5 workers are working for years. They're working so that they can reach the level where the boss is, or they can become a supervisor sometime. But the boss is at such, boss has such an attitude that he will always be a boss. Whenever he says one thing. The boss is always right. The boss can never be wrong. And if you think the boss is wrong, refer to rule number 1 and 2. That is, the boss is always right and he cannot be wrong. And even if he is wrong, he is right. With this attitude, he always managed a team of 20 workers. These 20 workers worked harmoniously, peacefully, helping each other, reaching the targets. But the end output of the favorite 5 will never get the growth. They will never become a boss because the boss is always the boss. The boss is never ready to leave his place, nor is he ready to create leaders. He will never share his experience with the favorite 5. They'll be good at work, but they will never reach where the boss has reached, the level where the boss has reached. The boss knows a lot of things more than the favorite 5 and the rest of 15. So it's a very small story, which hopefully it's their destiny that they have got that boss. Things can be worked out, but then when we see about the leadership theories, the famous 5 or the 5 who are favorite 5 will never be given a good opportunity where they could have made a good decision, or they could have made a good opportunity, they could have worked somewhere else and got a very good results out of that. But then what they decided and what they're doing is their fate and their destiny. So a little video about motivation, a little video about leadership. As we know, leadership about when we're talking about leadership, the interstate barriers, the international barriers, they play a very important role in leadership, especially interstate and the international barriers. About when we talk about the leadership, they matter a lot. What is the role of a good leader? Well, when you're talking about a goal for a good leader is to create more and more of leaders. More and more of leaders so that they reach a level where they have the experience of their leader. So when the place is vacant, we do not have to seek, or we do not have to search for a leader. This typically happens when we play any game. Let's say when we play, where my favorite game is cricket. When we play cricket, this always happens whenever I used to watch the 11 nations playing cricket. So few of my players were favorite. So they were not from my country, but then they had those captainship and they had those cricketing skills, their batting skills were concerned. But then in their absence, the team used to collapse a lot. And after those players, they never had a good captain or a good opening partnership or a good player who could play for them. So they were from the small countries, but then few of them were really worth taking their name. So This happens a lot. It's a rule that you should always create leaders. You should always promote leaders. If you are not able to create leaders, then whatever work you are doing will go to a waste. So what we are going to learn in our next session is about leadership, about the interstate barriers, about the international relations. We'll talk about leadership in detail. What are the different types of leaders? The leaders who are leaders by birth, the leaders who are appointed by people, the leaders who are bureaucratic leaders, the leaders about their various behaviors and various theories about leadership, about the motivation of the work, which leads to a good boss and a bad boss. I'll tell you a little story about a good boss and a bad boss. Boss A and B, both of them are bosses. They are leaders. They consider themselves leaders. They have around 10 people, both workers under them. So boss A, what he does is he has 100 units of salary for those 10 people. So 10 people should get equal of 10 units. But then on an incentive basis, it's either 20% add or 20% subtract. So the good workers will get around 12 units, and the workers who did not perform well, who are around the last 5, will get around 8 units. So his favorite people who may not be good workers but then who are good to him were getting 12 units. So 5 people were getting 12 units, and 5 people should be getting 8 units as per the policy. So 12 units into 560. So this was to motivate the performance. So 5 people got 12 units, so it went on to 60 units. Now the rest 5 people should get 8 units to have the 40 units overall. So boss 8 decides that he will give 12 units to 5 people who are working good and who are in good books to him, and the rest 5 will get 8 units. So this was the decision. 5 are happy, 5 are little complaining, and then they are okay. But then the boss B is there, who is given the same task with the same units. He decides to give 12 units, that's the max to be given to a person. So 5 people, his favorite 5, will be given 12 units, so it's 60 units. Now the rest 40 units, he decides to cut the wages of those people who are the lowest 5, so that they perform well. But then they have reached the targets, they are performing, they have been guided by the timelines, and they have worked, but then they are not the favorite. So he decides to cut 4 units from each of them, so just giving them 20 units for those 5 people. So out of their salary turns out to be 4 units. So in this case, boss B turns to be a bad boss, a bad leader, and not a very good example, because these 5 are being demotivated. These 5 will not work up to their potential. They will just work up to reach the minimum guidelines. So here plays an important role of motivation. Here plays an important role of leadership. In this case, A is a better leader than B. So I'll be taking notes on how the leadership is developed, what are the essential qualities about a leader, and how leadership should be managed, and motivation theories in all. So this is Dr. Rohit signing off from Indian Students Academy and Rohit Productions, and don't forget to watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching my videos, and don't miss out my video.